Hey, you friends, welcome. Bringing you a little Mexican sunshine to class today. That's fun. Don't worry, not rubbing it in your face. It's my last day here, and I heard that it's snowing back where I'm going. So I'm gonna have to put on like 5 pairs of pants, 6 shirts, 3 pairs of socks. Such is life. But I'm excited to welcome you to this little surf shack here. I think we're gonna start standing because here we are, and that just feels like, hey, let's like do some circular movements and get expanded a little. I want to just bring us into a sense of groundedness in the standing position, and maybe even just the quickest little review of this standing position. Um, you could have your feet, this is like if I am touching my hips, this is hip width right here. That's way too close for this like standing. If I'm going to do stuff from here, meditative or even wiggles and stuff, then I'm going to think about shoulder width. That's only like slightly larger if you think about it. Hip width and shoulder width are not very far apart, but like just kind of let that go and now be like, stand shoulder width. that, those shoulders are way out here, technically, right? So just thinking about like the cueing, the words that are often used for movement practice, for yoga practice, and then how we actually connect to that in the body. So I'm thinking about what feels like, and I think I'm on a little sloping situation, so I'm just kind of finding a diagonal. But if I were to, what feels rooted? How about that? Whatever about hip width and shoulder width. What feels like, I can soften the knees, I can soften hips and glutes, and I feel dumb, strong and soft at the same time, at ease, almost like very little effort possible. And I was going to say not to get cerebral right at the start of the class, but a wee little bit. But this is observation of cerebral. So we haven't done this in a while, but let's just play a little, find that little stance, and now take the mind up to the hips. How do you feel the weight distribution through here? Right? For some reason, are the glutes squeezing? Is the tailbone slightly tucked under? Like I'm kind of starting at posterior. Do you feel like one hip is a little higher than the other? Kind of tuning in there. Do you feel like when you bend the knees softly that your body weight goes very far forward? More like knees, quads, and maybe the knees start shouting back, right? And then take it up from there. And that's not to say about the ankles and knees as well. So here's the cool thing about human body and us being two-legged. Our bodies are constantly mitigating gravity. So right now, gravity, force of gravity comes up through the legs. And if we are soft, if the knees are soft, if the hips are soft, if everything is soft, then that force of gravity will come up through the bones. Bones are doing something here, not just spacers. Come up through the bones. And then there's those butterfly wings of the hips. So what actually happens is that force of gravity is distributed through the dish of the iliac, the curvy, big butterfly wings of the hips, and then distributed throughout what? All this anatomy. These nice big glute muscles, these nice big hamstrings, even a little bit into quads, a wee bit, but it's really more about back body. But the alternative is, like the knees locked back or like locked in place, standing mountain pose kind of thing. Glutes squeeze, tailbone gets compressed. And what happens is that force of gravity doesn't get distributed through the butterfly wings. It now goes right into the pelvic bowl and acts as a pulling down force on all the pelvic organs. So I think about how movement and standing stances are conditioned. Or say you did ballet, something that had you like squeezing the glutes, pushing the pelvis forward, or you just have, I can't even like fake it anymore. One of those stances, like hips kicked out, but you'll notice in those stances, the knees will be really locked back. And then the bones act like sticks in the body. It's very rigid. And what's happening in the pelvic bowl is rather detrimental. Maybe not as a teenager, unless maybe there's a pathology of endometriosis or something about fluid balance through here, could be. But it's about like later on. Maybe you had a baby or two of the womb. Maybe you pushed one of those out and you moved all the organs around and there was pressure down and we're not doing anything to lift back up. Then these kind of postures and funny, literally, I can't even fake it anymore. Like hips forward. This is real common. You see this all the time. This kind of stance. Woo! Because maybe you did ballet and they kept telling you, tuck it under, kind of. So listen to all that. Shake it out. Shake it out. Okay, now here's our comfy stance. So find your comfortable width and right away look down. Did the toes end up straight forward? Did they do a little bit opening? No worries. For some people, their stance has, especially when we meditate in this, they get more longevity in the muscles if the feet are turned slightly outwards. That's not me. I like my toes straight. And now we must commence fluffing. So come a little bit to the left and just fluff the right ankle. Like give it a little movement, maybe even a little circle, and fluff that ankle. Now, as you shift weight back to the right, don't compress, stay fluffy. And fluff left. Give it a little movement. Your pink feather duster. Go back to the center, right? 2 fluffy ankles. If you got to go back and fluff the right one, that's fine. So 2 fluffy ankles. Now let's fluff this right knee. Just give it a little, right? There's no reason why you can't fluff it. That's funny because I got something caught in my right big toe. So as I'm fluffing, that toe is just talking. That's really interesting. Who knows what that big toe is connected to, but we might find out by the end of the practice. Right? Okay, now if we come back over to the right, don't compress, stay fluffy. Fluff the left knee. So we're kind of at the knee. Now, when we come back to balance, stay fluffy. Now, can you fluff this right ankle? So as I'm fluffing, I'm looking outwards. My gaze is also fluffy, big, expansive. Now I'm gonna, that right hip, that didn't get too fluffy yet. Okay, now I'm gonna see about the left hip. Fluff through there, just give it a little fluff. Right, a little yogic mini twerk, mini fluff. And now what else can you fluff? Can you fluff through the vertebra? Give it a little. I got some vertebrae that are a little tight in there. I'm kind of fluffing through. I'm up to my shoulders. Kind of fluff the right shoulder, the left shoulder. I'm still staying really expanded. How about the fingers, wrists, little elbows? Very gentle. And how about through the neck? A lot going on there. Fluffing through that. Now I want to fluff my jaw. Fluff TMJ. Might need a little tapping. I'm gonna fluff my sinuses. Fluffing my sinuses. I'm gonna fluff my eye sockets. Oh, I gotta fluff, kind of gotta come back around the back of the head right at the occiput. Maybe the eyes and the occiput had a connection. And fluff around the eye sockets. There's kind of some heaviness up there. And then that's kind of fun. Fluff the fissures in the cranium. Just think fluff. I am fluffing the fissures of the cranium. Nice. Now settle the stance. Feel all sides of the feet present on the floor. Let's play a little without picking the feet up. Bring a little bit of weight towards toes. Then bring a little bit of weight towards heels. Bring a little bit of weight towards right side. Bring a little bit of weight towards left side. Now find center as if right from the center of the arch, you're suctioning from the ground. Like the arches pull upwards. And now let's play a little. Are we fluffed in the ankles? Are we fluffed in the knees? Because you might need to do right, left a little bit, singular fluffing. Let's come up to the hips. So we need knees slightly bent, glutes totally relaxed. And now come up into the tilt of the pelvis and a couple of times ping between the feet and the alignment of the pelvis. See what's the weight distribution there. Now come up to the hips and see, do you feel like there's more weight in the anterior or the posterior? Sometimes I'll do this. I'll get up to the glutes and I was squeezing the glutes. Why? I don't know. Stress. I take it over to the right. I take it over to the left. So I'm distributing the weight to get peak neutrality in the pelvis. I go back down to the feet. What's happening there? Am I still distributed there? The more you practice this, you'll just fall right into your alignment. This is now half of the body of the meditative stance, standing meditative stance. We need absolute neutrality. Sometimes I'll notice the pelvis will like do little tilty, wiggly movements all on its, like it's trying to find it. Now, what we do with the arms when it's standing meditation is we've got these channels that run through the yin surface of the arm and the armpit. You need a little fluffing, but this wouldn't be fun to maintain. So it's just like as if there was a little bit of air and the arms move ever so slightly forward, the elbows bend, as if something could just drip off the fingers. The arms are just as difficult to study, get to as the lower body, because if there's any amount, if there's too much muscle activation, you'll get tired. Your shoulders will get tired. So it's just a little fluffy, a little forward, the elbows bent, as if some sort of honey could just drip off the fingers. And what you want to feel is a hollowing out, like a softening in the well in the shoulder there, right at the top of the shoulder blade. So there's effortless effort here. This is a meditative stance. Then we can start playing around with, does your meditative stance have even a slightly deeper bend in the knees? The more one bends the knees, the more you have to go back into the glutes like you were squatting. So no, just break the whole thing and fluff around. Dance around a little. Okay, try to find it again. Just see feet, ankles, knees bent, hips back, ping between feet and hips. Space, arm. The gaze is outwards and now diffuse, like peripheral vision. We're not doing much, but I'm sweating. Play around with if that stance got a little lower. Allow for spontaneous movement to arise. Kind of the feeling of flow, circulations of energy, pulsation, right, left, figure eights. So this practice, just what we did and the technicality of it, is a phenomenal therapeutic practice for the organs of the pelvic bowl. We're doing a decompression of the organs for the organs and the fluid filled spaces in the pelvis. That pinging between feet and hips, that could translate throughout one's whole movement of the day, of weight distribution, distribution of gravity, ability to find one's center of gravity and root from there, and then move from there. Like, this has immense applications, actually. So practice this finding the stance and getting to the point of complete decompression in the pelvis, and then obviously or unobviously holding that, meaning meditating 10 minutes, 20 minutes. Maybe the goal is actually 30 minutes decompression and movement through fluid filled spaces. Amazing self-healing practice. Like, amazing things can happen. Bones can realign and all sorts of things with that. So let's make it a little bit wider and let's shake it out a little. Let's do some little standing series, hip circles. My knees are soft. All right, I want to keep with this knee soft thing. And let's take that in the opposite direction, hip circle. So everything we just did, it's not easy. It looks really simple. It's rather challenging in practice. But if you just do a little daily standing, amazing things can happen. Let's take this figure eight. Bend the knees. Let the, which is going to give you a bigger range of like getting the tush out behind you, getting through those glutes. Do whatever you want with the arms. Me, I always kind of like my arms out here. So straight up womb yoga today. Nice. And then just a gentle ring the bell. Forward and backward. Ringing the bell. Ding dong. I'm looking at the yoga studio and the other rooftop over there. They're getting started. Nice. Now, smiley faces. So you're going to swing it down and up, and then this foot comes on the toe tips, but this is all really relaxed. Down and up. Smiley face it. Noticing places in the body that are tight. For me, it's the quad. Down, down. Can they fluff the quad? Right down now. And back to center. Shake it out a little. Right, we're just shaking low. Think like a downward shake. Opposite. That feels good. Nice. With balance, ankle circles. Right, and if you need a wall or a chair, don't hesitate. I'm doing right foot at the moment, doesn't matter. Ankle circles in both directions. And then shake it out. Switch. Ankle circles in the opposite direction. Shake it out. Nice. We're going to bring knee to chest. Right. And I've shared before, I just automatically come into arms are up. Little guard stance. You can't help it. You know, that could be down here. Could just do knees up. Nice. We don't need coming into our chest. Right. And now let's turn this just knee comes up to the side. I'm on a bit of a slope to keep adjusting that. If it was easier to just do one side at a time, that could happen. Oh, it's tight through there. Nice. Standing hip circles. Feel free to like stick it out in between. Standing hip circle. 1, 2, and a little steps in between. To breathe out. Right? So, yeah, looks good. Waking up those glutes. So a little standing loosening series. How about one more to each side? And then we're going to try to go the other way. So in. Might feel a little awkward. So common, we got the arms sort of flailing out here. Once we start getting a little more martial with it, the arms stay in this box in the center. That's your block. So inward circle. Also, maybe a little bit better to keep the center of gravity actually in the center of gravity by having the arms closer in than way out here like, nice. One more D sec. No, I think these hips are loosening a little. Right, and now it's just a forward leg swing. And I'm not really trying to get my leg very high. Like it's a waist height. I'm feeling good about it. Not trying to push any agenda here. I'm also staying pretty upright with the body. So I'm not quite doing a preparation for a kick. I'm pretty upright. I'm just swinging, right? Is there a little swing back? Let yourself be really relaxed. A little Kalari Payati vibe, get a little swing back going. Right? If something about this doesn't feel good, sharp shooting, pulling, want to modify or not do it at all. Maybe on that swing back, you're bending the knee more. Breathing in, breathing out. It just kind of starts to Go a little higher all by itself. Super relaxed. We're still loosening. How about one more to each side? Nice. Shake it out a little. Right? Standing straight leg circle. Try to stay on the more the ball mount than the heel of the foot. Don't worry about how high you're going. Try to lift the leg, circle. Right? Other things I do. Am I trying to do this from my neck? Relax the neck. Relax the shoulders. Yeah. Starts to get a little lighter. One more to each side. Shake it out in between. Inner rotation. Gonna let the whole thing swing. Look out for your surroundings. I got a spiky plant right here. Inward rotation. This side seems to be a little freer. One more to each side. Nice. Nice. Pound it out. Pound the glutes. I've got real soft open fists. Oh, pound those glutes. Pound SI joint. Oh. Like it's all not loose yet. Just getting there. Pound the outsides of the glutes. Uh, Pound outside of the hips. So I'm still using fists, like this light fist, the thumb on the outside. And let's pound it. Oh, oh. Getting around the whole girdle. Nice. Small shoulder circles. Relax jaw. Small shoulder circles opposite direction. Big arm circles. So check the stance. Soft. So we're not straining our big arm circle. So we're still doing joint practices. We're still loosening the body with this intention of moving fluid in fluid filled spaces, releasing attachment sites. Let's go opposite direction. Range of motion. Swing the arms. Kind of alternate which one's crossed in front. Bend the knees. Nice. Let's take it forward and back. So we're exhaling forward. Inhale back. Nice. Kind of dip it side to side. I got to describe this. This is just a favorite movement of mine. So I'm going to my right. I've got my right knee bent. Left knee's also bent. Kind of collapsing to that side. But with the way the knees are bent, I can get right at the outside of this hip. Coming back up to center. A little pulsation. Don't go beyond the shoulder girdle. But soft knees, soft hips, soft everything down there. And just a little pulsation. Open up the chest and get your vision out here. Oh, big heart opening. Now make that little diagonal. This is just shoulder blade range of motion stuff. Love this stuff. Open up the heart and get that little sense of activation down pericardium channel, center of the inner surface of the arm. Let's go the opposite direction. Get that sense of opening from the sides of the breast tissue all the way down the center of the arm, pericardium heart protector. Now pericardium heart protector, static, we hold and fan open the wrist. Oh la la. Good morning. Something so simple done with this intention. Wow. Nice breath in. Ooh. Roll the shoulders. Roll the shoulders opposite direction. Triple heater stretch. Give yourself a hug. So pericardium's yang twin. Give yourself a hug like the shoulder blades are separating from the midline in the back, squeezing, and you're feeling this activation at the top of the deltoid, top of the shoulder. Knees are soft. Glutes are relaxed. Triple heater. Let's open it back up. Pericardium. Inhale. Oh, fan open the wrist. Eagle wingspan. We were hanging out this week with these giant vultures. So cool. Up in the treetops, flying on the thermals. They kept following my son Rhodes. Let's take that triple heater stretch now, opposite alignment of the hug. And squeeze. So switch whichever arm was on top. Squeeze. Check in with lower body. Nice and soft. I can feel this fiery activation. Let's take it nice and open one more time. See how this is a little bit easier, that pericardium stretch, that awareness. Got a lot more openness through the wrists here. And a little sound of construction. Big breath in. Exhale it on down. Roll the shoulders. Opposite direction. Hey, while we're here, arms come straight out. Make a fist with the thumb on the inside. Let's move wrists up and down. A little quick breeze through the wrists. Let's move wrists in circles. Let's go circles in the opposite direction. Now shake it out. You can really shake out the wrist, flat palm up and down. Give it a little swirly shake. And let's not leave off the neck. Kind of dance it out a little bit. Find your comfortable stance. Let's move the neck up and down. Nice and slow, flexion, extension. Now, right and left movement with awareness. We're not forcing the neck to move in any way. Observing differences on the right and left side. Let's take this ear to shoulder. Ooh. Oh, last one, half circle, tuck the chin, roll up to the shoulder, down to the middle, over to the opposite shoulder. Let the jaw relax. Nice, one more time to each side. Bring it back to the center. Let's come in to just a little half sun salute. If you'd like to bring the feet a little closer together, something to like get us through the vertebra. We might start here at the heart. Give a nice big inhale, stretch up and look up. There's that simple back bend. Oh, that feels amazing. Exhale with soft knees, dive arms forward, fall a little less amazing. When you're ready in the sequence, inhale a tabletop. Hands could be just below the shins. You might be a little bit lower based on your range of motion. Take an exhale, forward fold. Inhale up to standing. Even when I get here, I'm checking in with those glutes. Nice big inhale up to the simple back bend. And then the exhale, a nice sweep of the arms. Let's do 5 of these. You hold where you want to hold. You breathe where you want to breathe. Like just let your body be the guide here. Inhaling, stretch out, look up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale up to standing. Stretch out, look up. Notice any like yogic tendencies turning on just because it feels like we're doing yoga now? Did you suddenly start squeezing stuff? Did you suddenly start to become rigid in the low body? Are you squeezing the glutes in some way? Soft, soft, everything's soft. And we've got one more. Inhale. And exhale. And exhale. Right, as soon as you come up, like check in, knees soft, hips relaxed. Ah. Standing twist does activate gallbladder. We need more space. Well, actually, not too much space between. You could keep the feet on the floor. Your knees might like it better if you're picking up one heel at a time. If I'm going to my right, I'm picking up the left heel. Let the arms be so relaxed. Right? We just did forward and backward bending. So the rest of the muscles of the spine really appreciate a twist afterwards. Detoxifying, moving fluid around in the fluid filled spaces in the spinal column. It's feeling pretty good. Let's maintain this for a little bit. So if you notice, class by class, as we've started our late winter, early spring practice, we're getting a little bit deeper into those hips. We're doing a little bit more dynamic movement, a little bit more heat building, because we're helping ourselves slough off the heaviness of winter, literal phlegm. And then when we get to the damp part of spring, we won't be so damp backlog. We're just gonna keep lightening up, lightening up. A little bit more. Nice. Let's start to slow it down and come all the way to a stop. While we're here standing, let's do metal face stretch, lung and large intestine. We've got space between the feet, interlacing something behind you. The traditional pose is interlocking the thumbs and stretching through the index fingers. Sometimes my thumbs like this, sometimes they don't. You could always grab, I don't know, I got a pair of swim shorts here. You could hold something behind you, right? If the shoulder's not aligned, you could hold a lot of something behind you. So give yourself the space so that your shoulders are actually happy about this movement. Some space between the feet. We're more on that kind of little bit wider stance. We inhale, we open up through the chest, we stretch through those fingers if they're extended. We take the forward fold and we keep stretching through the fingers and breathing into the chest. Don't worry about how high up the arms go. Doesn't matter. Switch the thumbs. Three to five breaths. Something I like to do here is release the hands in the forward fold and give myself one of those little almost pericardium hugs. Inhale all the way up to standing. Let the blood trickle down from head. And bring the mind. Okay. I think I just turned on the noise canceling feature on my AirPods. You guys can hear me okay? Okay. I think I just turned on the noise canceling feature, so now it's like really quiet. Once you come back to standing after metal face stretch, bring the mind right to those points. Lung one, lung two. And feel like what's happening up there. Breathing. You might see like what's that accompanying fascia, like through the neck, collarbones, that like I'm getting literal stirring through the chest. I'm also sweating into my eye. Let's take this little wide leg stance while we're here. So wide leg stance, range of motion movement, just kind of takes us a little into the side lunge. Get a nice little opening through the adductors. Now see if the, like, and I'm not bending very much because my knees and quads are not the happiest right now. I feel a lot of fascial tightness around there. So I'm not pushing it. I might dance a little bit more. I might give a little bit more wiggles, try to get fluid moving in the joint spaces and the fascial connective sites. I'm just taking a little side lunge. You might decide to bring your feet a little closer together for the side. Want to stay rather upright and soft. Okay, something's loosening. I'm coming back to the center for forward fold. Big breath in. Exhale into the forward fold. Taking a nice breath here. And let's do that side lunge here. So walk the hands forward so your hands are directly underneath the shoulders. And side lunge here. Give a little bend. Straighten the office to see what that feels like here. Flat-ish back. So we're getting that little yin wood surface. Inner leg line, liver channel. Mm-hmm. One more time to each side. Switch. Nice. We're going to come back into the forward fold. And now let's do high runner's lunge. We're going to pivot over to the left. And you might walk the feet in just ever so slightly. Pivot over to the left. Walk the hands, pivot the back foot, high runner's lunge. Mm-hmm. Need a quad stretch. Pivot back through center. Forward fold. Pivot over to right. High runner's lunge. Activating earth phase. Let's bring it back up. Forward fold. Walk the feet in. We're going to be doing chikodachi. That's martial squatting stance. So we'll walk the feet in about 2 wiggles from that last stance. And up and into the squat. So walk the feet in twice or so. And down into the squat. Chest is forward. Hips are, just keep it kind of neutral. Like, Next inhale, straightening up the leg. Walk the feet out, out, straight. Horse rider stance. Go down into the squat, push the knees out so feet are straight forward. Knees push outwards. Feel these two different stances. So knees push out, feet are straight forward. We're wider than Shikadachi. Strong, firm, rooted in the center. Chest forward, shoulders back. Not really doing anything with the hands. Sometimes I bring them right at the crease. Sometimes this is the fist. Sometimes I'm just here. Today I'm just here. Nice big inhale. So straightening back up. Give it a shake. Give it a shake. I think we've earned coming down to the floor. Bring it on down right into a child's pose. Bring it on down. Right into child's pose. Ah, finally getting the stretch on the quads that I really wanted. I'm going to make my child's pose a little wide. See what it feels like to just come down here onto the yin surface. Take a little slide forward onto the belly sphinx pose. You might come right into the sphinx or just find yourself with elbows under shoulders, pushing into floor, lifting up. Let's enjoy the restfulness of this pose. Let's breathe in. Exhale all the way down. Lift up your fishtail. Flap the fishtail from side to side. We take a breath in one of the many crocodiles. You're going to walk the feet wide. Use your toes to walk wide. Turn the heels inwards. Then we've got options. You could cross the wrists and rest the chin there. Sometimes my neck and jaw likes that, and sometimes it doesn't. You could also just have the hands out in front. We're going to do a little parasympathetic breath here. Nice exercise to do periodically to just help keep you in tune with when the exhale extends, we go into relaxation mode. So align your breath to a count of 3. 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000. On the inhale. 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000. On the exhale, do a couple rounds like that. That might feel too short for you, don't worry. On the next round, extend the exhale, just the exhale, to a count of 4. Inhale, long count of 3. Exhale, long count of 4. 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000. You can feel the belly moving. Now, if you're finding your breath is longer, bump up to 4 and 4. And when that's established, extend the exhale to 5. And you can keep going up incrementally, but you don't have to. There's nowhere to get to. It's really just about the naturality of your breath. I find myself, I'm comfortable once I'm settled in somewhere at like 5, 6, or 6, 7. But I have a pretty deep kumbhaka. So don't try to get anywhere. Just happen to find yourself there because you've been melting and relaxing into this parasympathetic breath. This is a de-escalation breath. When you need to power down, when you need to de-escalate, when you need to get yourself out of the anxiety or the worry or the racing thoughts, the catastrophizing, this simple breath is amazing. And I like to do it in this position because I'm super yin. I'm down here on the floor. It's dark. It's cool. I can feel my belly moving. I can breathe so openly into the back body. So this is not the only position to do this in. This is just a position to explore. So you could hang out here longer. You could be like, oh man, I'm going to stay here a little bit longer. You could change up the position and keep doing the breath. You could start to walk the legs in. Might be a little bit of those flapping of the fishtails in between. At some point in time, you could make your way upwards and back into child's pose. There could be all sorts of things that happen in between. But just to have a lovely standing practice today with some technicalities. We made it all the way around all 6 surface layers of the fascia. We made it through all the elements. We're still working on this hip mobility, dynamic movement, getting ready for kicks, and getting our stances together, like thinking about these movements, therapeutic movement. We've got the healing application, but we have other applications as well. So I hope you enjoyed this practice today and the sunshine beaming in from Sayulita, Mexico. I'm going to be back with you guys next week for this space. and whatever are all the spaces in between. And I trust you will breathe and enjoy and take whatever's the next step in your day. Is it time for Nidra? Is it time for meditation? Is it time for food? Like this. And I will see you soon. Thank you.